Hello guys, you're welcome back to my channel. This is Sim and Stitches, and on today's tutorial we are going to be drafting a full bodies pattern. Today's shout out will be going to Mr. Dibo Kukola, the creative director of AfriVab Digital. Thank you very much for supporting my channels, guys. Please follow them and patronize all their services. So basically we are drafting a dress pattern. All right, so the first thing you do is to indicate your starting point. You connect 1 inch, you mark 1 inch, and you connect it together with a ruler. After that, you go ahead and mark all your length measurements, your shoulder to bust point, under bust, natural curve, navel, hip, mark your shoulder to knee, and the floor length. And after this, you go ahead and label each line for easy access when you are marking. The round shoulder measurement is going to be 8 inches. You mark your 8 inches, and then on this 8 inches line, you come down by 1 inch. That's going to be for your shoulder slope, and then you draw your straight line. So on this bust point, mark 8 inches point, then you connect the lines together from your shoulder slope line. You connect it to give you an angle 90. This is your armhole line. Then after that, you take your round neck measurement. So it's going to be 3 inches, and then the neck depth is going to be 3 inches as well. So you connect the lines together. Then after that, you connect your shoulder slope line together. Then right about here, you take your armhole curve. You mark the midpoint of your armhole. My armhole is 9 divided by 2 will give me 4.5. So here is my 4.5. I'm going to come in by ½ inch. So here's my ½ inch. Then you connect it together with your armhole line. Connect it with your armhole line, and then you join it as well at the shoulder line. You join it right there. So there you have your armhole neatly carved. All right, the next thing you're going to do now is to take your dart measurement. So my bust span is 7. I'm adding 1 inch. It will make it 8. 8 divided by 2 will give me 4. So you mark 4. On your under bust, you mark 4 as well. And here, you come down by 1 inch. On your bust point line, you come down by 1 inch. So it is on that 1 inch that you have dropped that you're going to be marking your 4 inches for the bust span. Likewise, on your navel, you mark your 4 inches for your bust span, and then on the hip line, you come up by 1 inch as well. So on this point, the 1 inch above the hip line, you are going to be marking your 4 inches, and you connect these lines together. Connect the 3 dots together. I hope you get this thing I'm explaining. It's very easy and simple to do. So right there, you come to your waistline, your natural curve line. You're going to be marking ½ inch on the right side and ½ inch on the left side to give you 1 inch. So you connect this ½ inch on the left side to the point here, and you connect this one also to the point here. Likewise, you connect this to this, and you connect this to this. And then you have your waist. That if you notice, this place is having 1 inch while the other part is pointed. So this is going to give you a special, fitness around your natural curve area. So after that, you're going to be taking all your round measurements. So on the bust line, the bust is 8.5. So after dividing by 4, I have 8.5. That's 34. So divided by 4 will give you 7. Divided by 2 will give you 17. Divided by 4 will give you 8.5. I'm going to be adding 2 inches for allowance. so it's going to be 10.5. Then at the under bust line, you have it as 7. That is, at the under bust line, you have it as 7.75. I'm going to approximate it to give me 8. So 8 plus 2 inches for the allowance, it will be 10. Natural curve is 28 divided by 4 will give me 7 plus 2 inches, 9. The navel is 31. 31 plus 2 inches would give me 9.75. I'll approximate and make it 10. Then on the hip line, the hip is 39 divided by 4 will give me 9.5 plus 2 inches, that will be 11.5. So you have it there, and then I'm going to connect all these dots together. So I'll reduce it by 2 inches to give me the pencil effect. It's going to be a penciled. I'm drafting a pattern for a pencil dress. So that'll be 9.5. You can just make yours to be straight. You can make it to be free, depending on what you're going after. So this one is the pattern I'm drafting is for a penciled dress, penciled gown. So it's going to have a pencil effect. And then I'm going to connect from the hip to this point. So I'm just going to carve out all these curved lines. So I'll connect it together and you're done, just like that. I hope you find this very useful. The next thing you have to do now is to draft the pattern for the back. So what distinguishes the front and the back pattern is the addition of the zip allowance. You add your zip allowance 2 inches at the center of your pattern. So that's going to be the difference, what we're going to be doing. So just to make this easy, once you draft out, to cut out your front bodies, you place it on another paper and you use your tracing wheel to trace out the shape. Then you add your 2 inches or 1.5 inch for your back. Just like that, it's easy. Another thing that I've already noted it in my previous video, that the armhole for the back is not going to be like this. It will come from this angle 90 and it will go all the way like that. Thank you very much for staying tuned. If you have a question regarding this, please leave in the comment section. If you notice, I didn't add the shoulder dart. So in my next video, I want you to watch out on how to add other types of darts on your basic bodies, like that's like the shoulder dart, the bust dart, the bustier, and the like. So one thing I would want you to note when drafting your back pattern is that at the waist part, in order to avoid your back, the back of your cloth bulging out, you reduce it by 1 inch. You reduce the waist by 1. That's what I'm doing. Reduce it by 1 inch, and then you connect it to the other part of the back. From the waistline, you mark 1 inch inward. You reduce it by 1 inch and you connect it to the top of your neck, and also connect the down part to your hip line, and with that you're good with your pattern.